I didn't recognize her at first. She stood by the window of the cafe, hair shorter, posture softer. The sunlight caught the side of her face, and for a moment, I thought I was seeing someone else. Then she turned, and there it was, the same quiet sadness that had lived between us long before we ever said goodbye. "Hi, Mark," she said, her voice still careful, like she was stepping into a memory she wasn't sure she wanted to relive. "Hi, Emily. I managed." We hadn't spoken in 6 years. Not since the divorce papers. Not since the shouting. Not since I packed my things into the back of a U-Haul, while she stood on the porch with folded arms and wet eyes. She motioned to the seat across from her. I sat down, and the silence between us immediately felt heavier than the coffee cups that hadn't arrived yet. We met when we were 23. Fell in love fast, like it was a race. Moved in together before we even learned how to fight properly. I thought love meant holding on tight. She thought it meant being understood. We were both wrong in our own ways. The betrayal came quietly. It wasn't a dramatic affair, not at first. Just late nights at the office, unexplained texts, laughter that wasn't meant for me. I remember the night I found out. Her phone buzzed on the counter while she was in the shower. The name Ryan flashed across the screen. I didn't mean to look, but I did. Can't stop thinking about last night. I remember sitting at the kitchen table, staring at that message while the sound of running water echoed down the hallway. When she came out wrapped in a towel, smiling like nothing had changed, I knew that everything had. I didn't scream. I didn't even confront her that night. I just felt this coldness, like something inside me had quietly died. A week later, I told her I knew. She cried, begged, promised it wasn't what I thought. But it was. We tried therapy, tried forgiveness, tried pretending we were fine. But every time she said, "I love you," I heard someone else's name echoing behind it. Eventually, love became something we both resented. When I left, it wasn't out of anger. It was exhaustion. Now, sitting across from her again, I noticed how time had reshaped her. There were faint lines around her eyes, but they looked peaceful, not tired. She stirred her coffee, hands steady. "I didn't think you'd come," she said. "I almost didn't." She smiled sadly. "That sounds like you." We talked about safe things at first, the weather, her new job, the neighborhood. Then, inevitably, the conversation drifted to the past. "I used to hate you." I admitted. "I know," she whispered. "I hated myself too." Her eyes filled, but she didn't look away. I wish I could say I had a reason, that I was lonely or drunk or that it just happened. But the truth is, I wanted to feel wanted. "You stopped looking at me like you used to." That hit harder than I expected, because deep down, I knew she wasn't entirely wrong. I had been buried in work, trying to build a life for us, trying to make her proud. I thought loyalty meant providing. She thought it meant presence. Somewhere along the way, I forgot to love her out loud. "I blamed you for everything," I said, but I think I was just scared to admit I wasn't enough either. Her lip trembled. "You were enough, Mark. I just wasn't ready for the kind of love you gave." We sat in silence for a long time. Outside, the city moved as if nothing monumental was happening inside that cafe. People rushed past, coffees in hand, unaware that two ghosts were quietly forgiving each other. "I got married again," she said finally. "I heard," I replied. "You seem happy." "I am," she said softly. "He's kind, patient. We're expecting a baby." There was a small ache, not sharp like before, but dull and human. A reminder of what could have been, but no longer needed to be. "I'm happy for you," I said, and for once, I meant it. She reached across the table, fingers brushing mine. "You were my first real love, Mark. That's something no one can take away. I just wish I'd loved you better." I swallowed hard, and I wish I'd listened more. For years, I'd imagined this moment differently. Me walking away cold, triumphant, indifferent. But sitting there, all I felt was release. No bitterness. No score to settle. Just two people who finally understood why they broke. As we stood to leave, she smiled. The same smile she used to give me when I come home late, the one that said she was trying to forgive me even before I asked. "I'm glad we talked," she said. "Me too." We walked outside together, then paused at the corner. The wind carried the faint scent of rain. She looked at me, eyes soft, voice almost a whisper. "Take care of yourself, okay?" "I will." I watched her walk away, her figure growing smaller until she disappeared into the crowd. For the first time in years, I didn't feel the urge to look back. That night, I sat on my porch, the same one where I used to drink alone after the divorce. The air was still, the street quiet. I thought about all the years I'd wasted hating her, hating myself. Forgiveness wasn't a single moment. It was a slow unraveling. It was realizing that the pain that once defined you no longer had power over you. I took a deep